So, day 6 is about to start. Not the best night's sleep here last night, but anyway, got through the night. Reception was closed when I got here. I had a code for the room and everything, they'd emailed that through, but unable to get any water or anything, which was less than ideal. Anyway, today, starting off following the canal to Dijon, try and find a bike shop there, see if I can get the front shifter sorted, and then onwards to Lons-le-Saunier. Looking at the gradient for the day, it looks like it's a long, gentle descent with just a bit of a climb at the other end, but we'll see. I'm Roger, this is Roger Rides for AT. Keep watching for more of today. This is one of those sort of typically French sort of scenes. Canal side, lined with trees. Lovely. Anyway, today, set off from the hotel a short while ago. As you probably worked out from the intro, I'm following the Canal de Bourgogne towards Dijon. Opted for a slight detour to follow the canal rather than up and over. It adds on about, I think it was about 4 or 5 miles, but makes some good progress. Well, hopefully. In Dijon, I'm going to try and find a bike shop, see if I can sort out the front shifter so that I've got a full set of gears. I'm okay for climbing, just means the downhill I either pedal like crazy or I coast. But if I can get it sorted, great. If not, I'll just live with it. After Dijon, I think from what I could make out on the maps, it's more simply following the canals. Heading today for Lons-le-Saunier, which is on the edge of the Jura Mountains, I believe. Today's distance, a little over 90 miles. If it's like this and continues to be slightly downhill, which I believe is the case, that'd be quite nice, quite easy. Depends what time I lose in Dijon as well though. I'll be back soon. So, the Canal de Bourgogne. It's built, I think it was just over 200 years ago I saw. And in those days that would have been part of the transport infrastructure in France, linking up major rivers, that kind of thing, allowing for transport of goods across the country. Yeah, not just this canal, but others. More applicable for current purposes. It's obviously used a lot for leisure type activities, and this cycle path or velo route was created in 2010, I think I saw, and very nice it is too. So those last few clips were from in Dijon. Slight detour from the canal up into the town, probably city actually. Whilst there, called into a bike shop for them to have a look at the front shifter. His verdict is it's a possible problem with the lever. Has recommended a bike shop in Lons-le-Saunier, where I'm staying tonight. They're open until 7 p.m. I'm hoping to be there by something more like 5. Leave the bike with him for a couple of hours and go back, or perhaps even go back tomorrow morning when they open. I'll see what he says when I get there anyway. If it can't be fixed, it just means I've got no big gear on the front, so I have to pedal like crazy on the downhills. So it's not a big deal, but it'd be nice to have it working right. So back on the canals now, as you can see. This is still Canal de Bourgogne. I think it changes to a different canal at some stage down to Lons-le-Saunier. Worry about that when I get to it. So the next in the series of viewers' questions comes from Karin. Have I got a sat-nav? Simple answer is yes. To expand on that a little, the Wahoo computer I've got, I can download routes to it. So plot a route beforehand, download it to the Wahoo, and that will guide me step by step. If I deviate from the route, it will take me back to the route further down the road. In addition, the Wahoo, for me at least, gives me time, how far I've travelled, how far I've still got to go, information about climbs. So, is it flat? Have I got steep hills? That kind of thing. Recording all of that. I wear a heart rate monitor. It shows me how that's doing. I've got a cadence sensor which is measuring the rotation of the pedals. Yeah, the effectively RPM. There is a, just like driving a car, there is a sort of sweet spot. Like on a car, yeah, it might be 2000 RPM, it might be 3000 RPM, that depends on a number of factors. Now I don't pedal anywhere near that fast, but for me I find somewhere around 80 RPM is a reasonable pace, or a reasonable rate, should I say. Faster, it can end up a bit tiring. Slower, and it's hard work. A bit like if you're in your car and you're in too high a gear, and revs are too low, and the engine's labouring a bit. It is very, very similar to that. Gary, are you listening? Because you're a bugger for grinding the gears, just getting in a high gear and just trying to drive it. So, yes, I have a sat-nav. In conjunction with, I use an app called Ride with GPS for planning, plotting the routes. There are others as well. In fact, I've used others also, but that's my preferred one. Plot the route, get an idea how far I'm going, how hilly, all of that sort of information. Does it sound a reasonable day's riding? And the route's loaded on. I select that particular route and away we go. Now, when I get to today's destination, there's a bike shop I want to visit before the hotel. So I've just updated the route on the phone. I stopped the route I was following, updated the route, put in the bike shop along the way and reloaded the new route. It allows me to just carry on where I'm at. I don't have to go back to the start. And that will hopefully get me there. So the short answer is yes. The long answer is what you've just heard. Thanks, Corinne. See you soon. So you can see on the map where I am now. The Canal de Bourgogne will join the Saône, if I've pronounced it right, at Saint-Jean-de-Losne, or Losny, whatever. So from canals to rivers. This here is the River Saône. I'm not sure I pronounced it right. Heading off in that direction. Off there to the right is where the Canal de Bourgogne joins. So I've just come down from that direction. Now I'm going to be I'll be going over that bridge there, following the river that way for a little while. Not sure what happens after that yet, but anyway, I'm going to find myself a coffee. So I'm now following the Canal du Rhône. It links the Saône River, just back there, to the Rhine. So I'll probably see the canal again in a few days' time. The Saône River is a tributary of the Rhône. So that's how the link between the Rhône and the Rhine sort of works out. Not sure how far I'll be following this today. I'll find out when we go our separate ways, River and me. Had a good lunch back there. Possibly a bit too much. Feel a bit full. I'll just have to work that off with a bit of pedalling. Lovely veal chop, fries, salad. Next priority is finding more water. Whenever I see a stop for water, I take it now. Just to get the liquid in me. Anyway, catch you later. That was a stroke of luck. I just spotted a sign there, only just 20 yards up the road, for a water point. Very nice. I would take a guess that this is a former railway line. Didn't realise Dr. Beechin got over to mainland Europe as well with his cuts. He's the one that gets the blame for it all in the UK, but it's not just there, is it? Anyway, I like what we've got now. It's a bit hilly around here, but then I knew that. I've arrived at the hotel, just about to check in. It's 99 miles today. That's twice this week I've done 99, I think. Who cares about the centuries? Stopped at a bike shop in Dijon, who recommended a bike shop here. Stopped there. The earliest they can look at my bike is tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow I'm heading to Geneva, so I'll just have to make do with just the small ring. Makes no difference going uphill, just means pedalling like crazy downhill. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. It's been a good day. A lot of canal and dedicated cycle path riding. Probably, if I were to guess, certainly over 80%, maybe even 90%. Very enjoyable. It's very flat until the last few miles, but it'll be a different story tomorrow. Catch you then. Bye.